Welcome to episode 15 of the Rooz Show today. It is a special day. It is our 1 year anniversary of the creation of the Rooz Show.
Yes, it is.
What a great show. I love this show. And tell us about our segments today.
Yeah, so we have 3 today. We'll start with off topic, and then we'll head to Rooz Ranks, and then we'll cap it off with some college football because I heard the playoffs are on the way.
Yep.
So we'll do some bracketing.
Let's get into it.
So for off topic today, we're going to flash back to a 2024 bracket we did.
Yep.
It was the fast food bracket. So to recap that, Final Four was Culver's, Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, and then El Chili Poblano.
Yep.
El Chili Poblano, it's not going to be on this list because it is not a fast food restaurant. It just made that list because of we needed more restaurants. But anyways, Chick-fil-A beat Culver's. So.
Mm-hmm. And the criteria for this list are they have to have a drive-through, quick service, don't have to sit down, and no pizza.
Yeah, and also no pizza, and also just there's a fly in my face, but and also this is, if you guys are new, this is our combined list. So we both made a list and we're converging them together. So let's start with our honorable mentions. Corey, what are our honorable mentions?
We have Wendy's, Cane's, and Shake Shack. Wendy's has fallen down the list recently.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Cane's is pretty good. Shake Shack, I haven't had it much, but it's by Topgolf and Fisher's. And
it's a good place. I've been there a few times, not much, but it's definitely worthy of the list.
Yeah, and number 10, we have a you favorite, Arby's. I do not think this should be on the list. This is a disgrace to this list.
Well, I think the problem I have is picking between Arby's and Wendy's, and I think Arby's, they provide a different variety of food than Wendy's does. I get the same thing at Wendy's that I do at McDonald's, and it's just, I think Arby's has better food.
Okay, that's fair, but I still disagree. But anyways, number 9, we got Jersey Mike's.
I love Jersey Mike's. It's probably my favorite sub place. I think I had it at 7 on my list. I think it's a great sub place. Yeah,
and I think it's a great sub place too, but however, I think Jimmy John's is better, which that is number 8.
Yep. I haven't had Jimmy John's as much. I'm more of a fan of Penn Station, which is probably the closest to Jimmy John's. They're pretty. I think there's a lot of sub places that are pretty close. Jersey Mike's is pretty close to.
I really love the bread at Jimmy John's.
The bread at Jimmy John's is pretty good, I will say. Number 7 on our list, Qdoba. You had Qdoba pretty high.
Ooh,
I had it on my honorable mention.
Yeah, I had it number 2 on my list, Corey. Yeah, honorable mention. But yeah, Qdoba's a great option.
No.
Very solid. Can't go wrong with it.
Number 6 was one of our top 4 favorites a year ago, or one of your top 4 favorites, the fans' top 4 favorites, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's the winner of the fast food bracket, and I will say Chick-fil-A is so consistent. I don't feel like I've ever had a bad thing at Chick-fil-A. I've never been dissatisfied. It's just I don't find it as good as other places.
I agree.
But I think like customer service, incredible. If it was based off customer service, this would be number 1 for sure. But
starting with the top 5, we have Culver's in the 5th spot.
Oh, that place is good.
That place is so good. The burgers are great. The cheese curds are good. The concrete mixers are so good.
Yeah, I'd say I think Culver's has the best burger in fast food.
I can agree with you.
You can agree? The Butterburger, it's so good, and oh my gosh.
So customizable, too.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the...
Yeah, it's only a Midwest restaurant, but it's like the Midwest In-N-Out. It is. It's just incredible. But awesome. Number 4, it's the Golden Arches. Mm-hmm. It's so classic. It's when you think fast food, I'm assuming that's the first thing that pops in your head, the McDonald's. So
it's like you said, classic. Their menu is always changing. They always have something new on the menu, and I think they have a big variety, and their breakfast is really good too.
Yeah, their breakfast is killer. I get it almost every other week. Like it's just incredible. I love me a McMuffin. They're amazing.
And you can't go wrong with some chicken nuggets.
Yeah, no, not at all. Or a Big Mac, or just anything on that menu besides the filet of fish, of course.
Agree.
Or they have the McRib. That thing's like I don't even know what kind of meat that is. But anyways, number 3, Taco Bell.
That's number 1 on my list. I think recently Taco Bell has shot up. It's been so consistent for me. I don't know if it's because the Taco Bell restaurants I've been going to, or but I think a lot of people like Taco Bell, and I think it's the best fast food restaurant right now.
Okay, that's interesting. I had Taco Bell kind of lower top 10 on my list. That's good. It's good. I definitely will not be mad if they suggest Taco Bell. Someone does, but that's certainly not something I'd suggest for sure.
Number 2, Panda Express, one of our personal favorites. It's not it didn't make number 1, but I think it is an outstanding restaurant.
Yeah, Panda Express.
Fast food restaurant.
Yeah, the one thing I love about Panda Express is quality, the quantity and the quality of their stuff is just incredible. You can get so much food for such a little price.
It's awesome.
And you go to like Qdoba and other places, and you have to pay a ton for like a lot of food. But Panda Express, you can get what is it?
A plate for $12.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's more food than you get on a foot-long sub.
Yeah, for real. Insane. Don't even bring that stuff up. That's why Subway ain't on this list. But anyways, let's talk about a number 1. The best fast food restaurant voted on all of us, Chipotle.
Chipotle is so good. You can compare them to Qdoba, but I think Chipotle, they have a less variety of food, and I think that's what makes them better, because they focus on the small variety they have, and they make them the best, and that's why I think Chipotle is up there.
I like that statement. I think, I got Chipotle and Qdoba neck and neck for my number 1. And the reason I put Chipotle first is the quality. Yeah. I think Qdoba's, you can go wrong with Qdoba sometimes.
Yeah.
Chipotle, although it is expensive, it definitely is probably, it could be the most expensive restaurant on this list. Mm-hmm. But it 100% has the best quality, and that's why I think it's number 1.
It tastes so good. What's your go-to order?
I usually pick between steak and chicken.
You get a bowl?
I do get a bowl. Yes. Steak, I'm usually going for steak. Steak, so I never really go chicken. Like Qdoba, I'm going chicken, but steak, Chipotle is so good. And then, I just get a bunch of other stuff.
I go bowl with some brown rice, some chicken, veggies, and then whether that hot Chipotle sauce, or not Chipotle, the hot red salsa. And then some cheese, and that's it.
Yeah. No pico, no nothing.
Oh, no,
Corey has such a different order than me. That's insane.
I do put pico on it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But, all right, that's our list. Take a look. Fast food restaurants list. Let's go to our next segment. So for Rooz's Ranks, we're going to do something we've never done before. So we're going to actually turn it to a good buddy, Corwin Talks Sports. His name's Garrett.
Yep.
Great sports analysis. Let's see what he's got for Rooz's Ranks.
What's up, guys? Garrett here with Corwin Talks Sports. I want to give a huge shout-out to Eli and Corey for allowing me on the Rooz Show this week. I'm taking over Rooz Ranks, and we got the power rankings 32-1, so let's get right into it. Let's start with 32-25. I want to give a shout-out to the Titans and the Browns for an absolutely great game on Sunday. Back and forth game. The Browns got down early on in the game, came back, ended up losing on that 2-point play. Overall, a great game, though. Good for Cam Ward to get that second win on the season, showing some progress throughout the season. And then the Browns with Shedeur Sanders, he looked absolutely unreal. 350-plus passing yards, 4 touchdowns. He really did a good job controlling that Browns offense. Got Jerry Jeudy involved, which hasn't been the case for most of the year for the Browns. Unfortunately, they take a tough loss. I hope Kevin Stefanski's fired, because after what he pulled on the 2-point play was unbelievable. But a great game. Shout out to both teams. And then the Commanders at 28. Having a really rough season. Losing 8 in a row. Injuries have just destroyed their season. Jaden Daniels has not been the same player he was last year, even when he is healthy. But I look the Commanders to bounce back. They got a lot of talent, great coach in Dan Quinn. So I think they'll be okay for next year. But this year's just been an absolute dumpster fire. All right, let's move on to 24-17. A couple teams still in the mix here for the playoffs. One team that has a really far shot but looking in is the Bengals at 22. If there's a guy that's going to make a crazy run, it's Joe Burrow. And with how weak the AFC North is, there's a chance that the Bengals could run the table and some other losses happen and they have a chance to make the playoffs. Very unlikely. But I'd keep an eye out for Joe Burrow and the Bengals at 22. 21 is the Chiefs, and it's crazy to say, but they are not looking good to make the playoffs. They're sitting at 6-7 right now. They've lost 2 in a row. The Texans beat them this past weekend in a really ugly game overall. The offense did not look good for the Chiefs. Mahomes struggled tremendously against that defense. So props to the Texans defense, but The Chiefs are looking on the outside in, and they need to run the table, and they need some crazy stuff to happen for them to make the playoffs. But it's nice to see Kansas City not the number 1 seed in the AFC, so you know what? I'm not too mad about it. At 20, I want a quick shout-out to the Dolphins. They've won 5 in a row. They've looked like a great team sitting at 6 and 7 now. All of a sudden, they gave themselves a chance to make the playoffs with the uncertainty and some of these wild card teams. Maybe there's a chance they make it if they were on the table. Who knows? But shout out to the Dolphins for reviving their season. It really looked rough at the start of the year, but they've come on strong. They've won 5 in a row. And they look like one of the best teams in football. 19, I have the Ravens suffering a tough loss to the Steelers. Their chances to make the playoffs have gone down tremendously. They need to run the table as well and beat the Steelers in Week 18 to really have a chance to make the playoffs. So the Ravens are also on the outside in. What a league we live in where the Ravens and the Chiefs are both possibly not going to be in the playoffs. That's crazy to me. And then at 17, I have the Colts. I would have them a lot higher, but the uncertainty of this team right now, I just don't know what to do with them. They're on a big losing streak. I think they've lost 3 in a row. Yeah, they've lost 3 in a row. Not having Daniel Jones, I hope he's okay. I hope everything goes well with his Achilles surgery, but just a super tough loss for the Colts, losing to the Jags. And they haven't won in Jacksonville in 12 years, a place they had to go win in order to have a good chance to make the playoffs. They couldn't do, lose their quarterback, and now Phillip Rivers apparently is going to try out for them, which is insane to me, but tough season for the Colts here at the end. They start off really hot, one of the best teams in the country. From 16 to 9, we have a couple of teams that have a good chance to make the playoffs and make a deep run. Just some uncertainty right now with them. A couple teams I look at is 13 and 12 with the Lions and the Eagles. The Lions got a nice win on Thursday night over the Cowboys. I still have questions about that defense, though. Losing Brian Branch is a huge loss for the Lions. They don't have a super easy schedule coming up. They got to play the Rams, the Steelers, and the Bears, so they do not have any guaranteed games. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the upcoming weeks. But the Lions are a great team when they're all healthy. When the offense is rolling, they can make big plays. And then the Eagles at 12. They've lost 3 or 4 in a row. The Eagles are sliding, and it's not a good time to slide. A sloppy game on Monday night against the Chargers. Too many turnovers. Jalen Hurts looked absolutely terrible, to say the least. So a couple of these teams that are perennial contenders in the NFC are looking like they might be on the outside in as well if they don't have, a strong finish to their season. And then the team I want to shout out is the Texans. They've been red hot lately, winning, I think, 5 in a row. It's been an unreal comeback for the Texans. C.J. Stroud has turned around his season, and now they're primed to look like they're going to make a playoff spot. Great run by the Texans. It's cool to see them doing well as the Jags, who just beat the Colts. They're in first in the AFC South, which is, that's unreal. Let's go 8-1, wrapping up here. A couple teams I look at is the Packers. You got a big win over the Bears. Shout out to Jordan Love. He had a good game against the Bears. Got them a nice win. And then the Chargers beating the Eagles on Monday night. Sloppy game, but they took care of the ball more than the Eagles did, and they won that game in overtime. So the Chargers propel up in my rankings. They're at 5. And then my top 4, I got the Seahawks, Broncos, Patriots, and Rams. Although the Rams lost to the Panthers 2 weeks ago, I still think they're the best team in football. Stafford's got an unbelievable connection with Adams and Puka. They look like the team to beat right now. So if you want to win, you got to beat the Rams. Anyways, guys, that's my rankings, 32-1. I just want to say thank you to Eli and Corey for having me on. This is Garrett from the Corwin Talks Sports show. Appreciate y'all.
It's that time of year again. We're going to fill out our college football playoff bracket. But first, I want to discuss, obviously there was a lot of controversy with the teams that got in. We had 2 group of 5 teams make it. What's your opinions? I see that shirt. I'm assuming this ain't going to be nice here.
So I understand putting Miami in over Notre Dame. They beat them in a head-to-head matchup. That makes sense. But ranking them in the last 5 weeks above Miami, that's what I don't understand. And as a Notre Dame fan, I'm a little upset about. But I like the Texas A&M being it that they deserve. Alabama, I'm not so certain. People say, yes, I think you make the SEC championship, you should be able to get in. But getting blown out in the SEC championship and having 3 losses, you teeter the line there. But what do you think?
It is tough. I don't think what the committee did Sunday was wrong. I feel like they did the right thing. I hate to say it because I think Notre Dame could have, like, if they would have got the 11th seed, they would have played Ole Miss, probably would have won that, and they played Georgia. Heck, we'll see what happens there. But I think just the bracket in general, the rules are a little wonky. I think what my solution to it would be just top 11 teams in the bracket, no conference championship lock, no nothing. And then you have one group of 5 team that gets a lock for winning the highest rank. So
yeah, I agree. I think the 2 group of 5 teams getting in,
this
messes it up because Notre Dame's better than both of those teams.
Yeah, 100%.
And you want the best teams to be in there to fight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's start with our first game. JMU versus Oregon. I'm going to go Oregon here.
I'm going to go Oregon as well.
Yeah, I think Oregon will probably beat them by 3 scores. JMU, I mean, it's awesome they made it, but unfortunately, I don't think they'll go far here.
Yeah. So. The next game, you have number 9 Bama at number 8 Oregon or Oklahoma. My bad.
Oklahoma.
I have Oklahoma winning. I think Bama coming off that big loss to Georgia. If Oklahoma gets their offense going, that'll be a good game.
Yes, and that 8 seed right there, they won the title last year when it was Ohio State. Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma's won the last 2 matchups against Bama. Mm-hmm. And last year they beat them at home. This year they beat them on the road. So I expect another win for Oklahoma against Alabama this year.
I agree. And the next one is number 11 Tulane, Group of 5 team, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a questionable pick because
Lane Kiffin's gone.
You don't know how they're going to play without their head coach for the whole season. So
yeah.
What do you think?
I want to pick Tulane, but I don't think they're good enough to be an SEC team. Ole Miss, they got a great roster. They got some solid players. I think it'll be very close, though.
Yeah.
Very close. But Ole Miss takes the dub.
I agree. I think I have Ole Miss taking the dub there.
Yeah. The last game of our first round, this is probably the best one. No, Bama Oklahoma is probably better than this. But Miami versus Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm. The battle of the 2 teams that beat Notre Dame. Always going to keep mentioning them, but I think I have Texas A&M winning. They're took a big loss to Texas, but I'm putting that behind. I think Texas A&M learns from that, and they go out and they dominate Miami.
Yeah, Texas A&M would be first round bye if they don't lose to Texas.
Yeah,
and they win the SEC championship. Maybe if they lost, they would have got jumped. But I'm also go Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Miami, they're a solid team. I expect a close game. I think Texas A&M will pull away late. So,
yeah. On to our second round. The first team we're going to go through is Oregon, Texas Tech.
Yep.
Huge matchups. Big matchup. I think Oregon's good. I like Oregon. But I think Texas Tech's defense is outstanding.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech's defense gets it done in a close matchup, low scoring. Match, and Texas Tech gets it done against Oregon.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Rodriguez, he's going to be a game changer. Yeah. He should have been in the Heisman voting. That's bull crap, but I don't think Texas Tech's good enough for Oregon. Oregon, they've got one loss to the number 1 team in the country, and they could have won that game. But so yeah, I think Oregon's going to beat Texas Tech. I don't think the Big 12 is. I don't feel like Texas Tech's played enough good teams this year to be able to compete with Oregon, so I got Oregon taking the dub.
I can see that. The next matchup is Oklahoma at the hot Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, baby.
Off their first outright Big Ten championship since
1967. No.
Oh my goodness. What do you think about this game from an IU fan?
Yeah, I think it's tough. That is like, even if we play Alabama too, it's tough, but it's just part of how this bracket's set up. The 8 and 9 usually are going to be hard teams. So, yeah, Rose Bowl, Indiana. That's amazing that we made it again.
Yeah.
I think we're going to beat Oklahoma, though. I think that game's going to be an absolute grind, though. It's going to be insane. I
also have Indiana winning. I think Indiana's team, they are, out of all the teams in the tournament, I think they're probably the closest as a team-wise, like just player to player. I think that team is very close. They may not have the talent as other teams, but I think that team is very close, and I think that they're going to get it done.
Yeah, the next game, we got Ole Miss at Georgia. Losing Lane Kiffin, I think it's going to cost Ole Miss. They about beat Georgia in the regular season, but I think Georgia's going to commandingly win this one.
I agree. I think Georgia is going to beat Ole Miss and out of the stadium.
Yeah.
I think Ole Miss, they have a really good team, but without Lane Kiffin, I don't think they can do too much.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, our next game, this is a little intriguing. So Texas A&M, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Ohio State's the better team.
Mm-hmm.
However, the game is the Cotton Bowl, which is in Dallas.
Huge.
Something to look at. Something to look at here. So Texas A&M, it's going to be like a home game for them.
Yeah.
Ohio State, they do have a big fan base, but Texas A&M's got one of the biggest home fields in the country. So with that, I do think Ohio State is going to win, but I do think it is going to be very close. Like when Ohio State played Texas last year, that's what I'm kind of thinking for this game.
Yeah, I also have Ohio State winning. Ohio State, they lost to Indiana. It was a close game. They could have won that game. I think this Ohio State's just there's too much talent on that team.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna build it together and go back and beat Texas A&M.
Yeah, on to our Final Four. So we got different matchups here.
Yep.
I have Oregon, Indiana. You have Texas Tech, Indiana. We'll start with you.
I think Texas Tech's going to beat Oregon, and they're going to be riding high. Their momentum. But I think Indiana is going to show Texas – they're going to show Texas Tech why they're a Big 12 team. And I think Indiana's going to come out on top and beat Texas Tech and go to the finals.
Nice. I love to hear that. Oregon, Indiana. I mean, this was a huge win for Indiana at the start of the year. And I expect IU to beat Oregon again. I think we got a better team than Oregon. So Hoosiers over Oregon here.
The next matchup in the Final Four I have Georgia, Ohio State.
You also got them. Yep.
Have Georgia, Ohio State. What do you think?
It's gonna be one of those games that's much watched television. I mean, this game is probably gonna decide. I mean, this is probably going to be the most watched game of the season, baby. I mean, Georgia, Ohio State, it's going to be incredible. Two powerhouses.
Yeah, they're going to sell out the stadium.
The thing, and I'm going over one team because of the easier route. Georgia had to play Ole Miss. Ohio State had to grind through my bracket, had to grind a game against Texas A&M. With that, I think Ohio State's going to still be a little banged up from it. I mean, it's a week past, but still banged up. I like Georgia here. I'm going to pick Georgia over Ohio State here.
Wow. Here's the thing. We're going to have very similar picks here because I'm going to go Georgia over Ohio State too. I think that team, Ohio State's going to be I don't think Julian Satan's as good as people think. I think he played really well against Indiana, but they couldn't get it done. And I also think that Georgia is just altogether a better team, and I think Georgia's going to come on top.
All right, well, here's our championships. We both got IU versus Georgia.
Yep.
I'll go first. Obviously, Indiana fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a tough game to pick, you know. Big Ten, I just think the Big Ten's better than the SEC.
Yeah.
I just think, oh, my gosh, like Big Ten's won the past 2 championships, Michigan, Ohio State. I feel like it's time for Indiana to get it done.
Yeah.
However, I don't think I can do it, you know. I don't know if it's just I'm too scared to pick my favorite team to win the title.
Yeah.
But I do think Georgia's going to get it done, unfortunately, against my Hoosiers. I will definitely be heartbreaking. But I just have that feeling that it's going to happen. It's just like the Indiana Pacers. We made the finals, we lost. So,
I think Kurt Signetti and potential Heisman Fernando Mendoza are so good, and I also think Georgia is just such a good team. There's so much talent on Georgia, and with Kirby Smart and that team, I don't know. I haven't watched many games, but I think they're a really good team. I think they could get it done. But I think Kurt Signetti and Heisman Fernando Mendoza are gonna get it done. They're gonna completely turn around the program and win the championship with 2 years of Kurt Signetti's reign with only 1 or 3 losses in his career at Indiana. That's insane. I think
two because he's undefeated here.
Yeah.
So
I think Indiana is going to be the champion of college football.
That's awesome to hear, Corey. So here we go. There's our champion predictions. I got Georgia.
Yep.
Corey's got the Hoosiers. So tune in and watch. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The whole playoff run, and That's the end of our episode. Happy 1-year anniversary to the Rooz Show. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great night, and see y'all later.
See ya.